We are back, everybody, hitting it out of the park with more YouTube news this week. You might have heard of a couple of YouTubers called the Stokes twins. They're YouTubers with almost 7 million subscribers, and they're also YouTubers that I've made a video on in the past. Well, in my last video on these brothers, both of them found themselves charged with crimes because of a prank that they were doing for their YouTube channel. There's been an update to this, and it did not work out so well in the Stokes twins' favor. Hey guys, MattyO here, reminding you to like, comment, and subscribe. As a growing channel, those 3 things are the most important things that you can do to help out the channel grow and reach more people. It's also great feedback for me, and I always try to respond to every comment posted, so smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and say hi down in the comments. Let's get back into the video. So if you don't remember already, let's talk about the video that got them in so much trouble. It was just a prank video, you know, just a harmless little prank, as long as you think that bank robberies are harmless. That's right, the Stokes twins filmed themselves pretending to be bank robbers in public. They dressed up in all black with black masks on and ran through the campus of the University of California, Irvine, pretending that they just robbed a bank. Which, in and of itself, is kind of dumb because they kind of know that they're going to get the cops called on themselves if they pretend to rob a bank. And apparently they definitely knew this, because they'd already had the cops called on them earlier in the day for doing the exact same prank in a different location. Now, what made it different this time was that they called an Uber. They got into the Uber, dressed as bank robbers, and acting sketchy, so the Uber driver kicked them out. Now, I gotta point out, this is just a random Uber driver. They did not, key him in on their schemes, they didn't tell him what they were doing. This is just a random guy. And they showed up in his Uber dressed as bank robbers, and basically acting sketchy as hell. So this guy kicks him out, but somebody, a bystander apparently, based on what's been reported, called the police because he thought that the twins were trying to carjack the Uber driver. Now, when the police showed up, I guess they just assumed that the car had already been carjacked, and the Stokes twins had already left. So the Uber driver was the only one left in the car, and he was removed from the car at gunpoint, as the police believed that he was probably involved in the carjacking that had been called in, which, never really occurred, but anyway, this poor guy was taken out of his car at gunpoint because of a bank robbery prank. So their little harmless prank got the police called twice in one day and had a man removed from his car at gunpoint. And for what? Some YouTube views? Was it really worth it? I doubt that the Stokes twins think so, since they faced charges for that incident. According to The Verge, the twins were charged with felony false imprisonment, and we're looking at a maximum of 5 years in prison each. That's right, 5 years. That is a lot, not gonna lie. So I think that they made the obvious choice that anybody in their position would have made, and they decided to plead guilty in exchange for having the felony false imprisonment charges brought down to misdemeanor charges, meaning they probably wouldn't face jail time. Although the DA was kind of opposed to this and released a press release talking about it where they said, the guilty pleas were in exchange for a judge reducing the felony false imprisonment charge to a misdemeanor. Prosecutors objected on the record and in a trial brief to the court's offer to reduce the felony charge to misdemeanor. So if I'm understanding that right, that means that the prosecutors in the case were objected, like they were against them lowering the charges. But luckily they did it anyway, so these guys kind of got off a little bit easier. It is kind of wild that they would have objected to them lowering the charges, but it really does just show how seriously they're taking it, because the DA said in a different statement that these crimes could have easily resulted in somebody being seriously hurt or killed. An active bank robbery is not a casual police response, and these police officers were literally risking their lives to help people that they believed were in danger. It's irresponsible and reckless that these 2 individuals cared more about increasing their number of followers on the internet than the safety of those police officers or the safety of the innocent Uber driver who was ordered out of his car at gunpoint. And that's kind of well said, because, geez, what they did was not just a harmless little prank, I'll tell you that much. And since they pled guilty, they were sentenced in accordance with their crime. The Verge reported that the Stokes twins were each sentenced to 160 hours of community service. That's over 6 days each. So, do you think that they still think that it's a harmless little prank? I doubt it. Now that they'll have to each spend over 6 days of their lives in community service, I don't think that they will do another prank like this. Hopefully, this will have taught them a crucial lesson, that it's not just a prank, bro, when you involve other people, especially when you're involving random people at the side of the street and quite literally endangering their lives at the same time, while also tying up police resources that could be used somewhere else at a real crime. Like, that's something that's not mentioned that much about this is, when somebody calls in a bank robbery or a carjacking, a lot of police respond to that, and those police could be going out to actual crimes, and they're reassigned from the actual crimes to fake bank robbery, because a bank robbery that's being called in is gonna get a lot of police there. They need more police at an actual bank robbery, so they're not out dealing with the actual stuff because they're all being called to this fake bank robbery. It's insanity. And it's a good thing that they were charged, and a good thing that they were sentenced, found guilty. Well, they pled guilty, so seriously, this whole scenario has been a mess for them since they took the video down also, so they literally got nothing from doing this. They got negative stuff from doing this. Luckily enough though, it does look like the judge has ordered them to not make any more videos that mimic criminal behavior. So unfortunately, I don't think that we'll be getting the Stokes twins doing some kind of car accident prank anytime soon. The people of Orange County, California can sleep easy, knowing that they don't have to be worried about being pranked every time that they leave their house. Anyway, what do you guys think? Are you happy with the community service sentence? Do you think that they deserved a harsher punishment? I personally feel like a community service punishment is actually a really good sentence for what they did, since nobody ended up actually being hurt in this incident. However, if somebody had actually been hurt in the incident, I think that they probably should have gotten a much higher charge. Like if that poor Uber driver had been hurt, or if they, hurt somebody on the side of the road, they probably should have gotten a bigger charge. But in the end, I don't think anybody got hurt, so I think community service is perfectly fine, and hopefully that it will be an opportunity for them to learn their lesson, and they'll think twice about doing something similar to menace the public in the future. However, these are YouTubers we're talking about, so who actually knows if they'll learn their lesson? Am I right? The other thing is, about this whole thing, that they could have injured themselves too. Because when people see people that have robbed a bank, there's a good chance that there's some people out there who would step in and try to stop them. They could have been tackled to the ground, they could have been beaten up. If the Uber driver had a gun, something bad could have happened to these two guys. So I'm hoping that with this sentence, they will finally understand that what they did was wrong, and that they could have been hurt, they could have hurt somebody else. Even just by tying up the police, they could have hurt somebody else, because the police could have been going to like a car accident, or some kind of domestic dispute, something that's, slightly lower priority than a bank robbery in progress, or a carjacking in progress, that they get pulled away from, and then the people who are in those original problems that the cops couldn't go to, they get hurt. It's a whole mess, and I really do not think that the Stokes twins should have done it in the first place, and I'm hoping they won't do it in the future, and I really hope that this is a wake-up call for them. And I also hope it's a wake-up call for all of these kind of channels, Anybody who makes pranks on YouTube should probably be looking at themselves in a mirror and going, am I gonna get charged for something like this? Have I committed any crimes while making my pranks? Is this really just a harmless prank? I mean, I doubt that they will, but I really hope that this will have some effect on the prank community in general. Because a lot of the pranks that people do in public now are not great. I mean, I've been seeing some pranks on TikTok where they're literally just going into Target and making a mess. They're just going down the aisles and just knocking stuff off the shelves like that's a prank. That's not a prank. None of this stuff is really a prank. It's just kind of a bad video idea. Anyway, that's enough of my rant for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really do appreciate it, especially if you watch all the way to the end. I'm going to be trying out something new and asking that you guys include the word orange in your comment below, but try to make it sneaky. Try to sneak the word orange into your comments so other people don't notice. And that way I can tell who actually watched all the way to the end and who's a member of the secret Watch to the End club. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this far. You have a great day, and God bless.